So we have to inspire our people. Because it's the world we want to live in. People do not realize that they can develop a picture in their mind. First of all, on a personal level, you can say, I want to be such and such. And then there's goals that get you there. And you can do it. Everybody that has a little something, they've set up goals. And some people had goals and they didn't even know it. And they did a study, 1952, the Yale crew, mostly all white men. And so they took the class in 1952. They come back 20 years later, 1972, and they looked at the results. They found that 3% of the people, now remember they're all white men, they're all from similar families and cultural background. In 52, they're all about the same. And they found that 3% of those people was worth more than the whole 97%. You know why that was? Because the other ones had goals. 3% of the people had goals. So when they had goals, they was able to harness everything and stay focused because they was going somewhere. A lot of us have learned motivation therapies and all that, but we have small goals, and the goals do not fit the time. See, at first, the goals we had was what came to us. So we want to be rich. Who wouldn't want to be rich? And everybody liked Cadillacs, so we bought Cadillacs. And then we bought everybody else Cadillacs that, and then we realized that I used to call my Broham that had mink and all that stuff in it, I used to call it the electric chair. The electric chair, that's what I used to call it, because one thing, the police just took my driver's license. I didn't do nothing to lose them, like they do now, so they could stop me all the time because I don't have driver's license. Now, I was just so busy. My lawyers, I had the best lawyers in town. They never told me we could take you over there and we'd get you some insurance, and I don't care how bad your license, your traffic, which I didn't have a one ticket, right? Yeah, but I made them money. They were my lawyers. They liked me. They liked me because they were proud. This is a young black man. Ain't nobody doing nothing like that. And they knew one of my lawyers, he became a Supreme Court justice in California, one of the most famous lawyers out there. He said, are you tired of playing Robin Hood? I mean, the old Robin Hood. Remember, I don't know if you watched the TV program and Richard Green in those days, Robin Hood. They was always running around Nottingham and the sheriff. Robin Hood and the sheriff. And every week, it's a TV program, came on every week, half-hour program. And it was the sheriff chasing Robin Hood, and Robin Hood was stealing from the rich people and giving it to the poor. So he said, are you tired of playing Robin Hood now? In other words, because everybody knew I was sharing all the wealth, whatever I had. Because who would want to, that's another thing I had at that time. Because we used to call Oakland Paradise. When I go to LA, I was saying, hey, y'all want to go back up to Paradise with me, to Oakland. So sometime they would go and we'd have a good time. Because if they came up, especially if I had girlfriends down there, not sexual partners, but girlfriends, that was my friends. A lot of people don't have ladies that are friends of theirs. Well, I had, that's all I had was that kind of friend, because the other way you would go crazy. Uh, you know what I mean? Trying to keep, I learned that quick. I just like to tell one thing, and I won't, I'll get back to this subject. But see, when I first got married, I moved down to a place out of our neighborhood. Like we way deep East Oakland, I moved down way, it was over 50, 60 blocks away. At that time, that's out of your neighborhood, 50, 60. Shoot, man, that was 80 blocks out of from where, you know, and I was down there, nice apartment, everything, taking it easy. And then I got married at that time. And I didn't do no business. I had saved up a lot of money. I was very rich for those days. I had 2 Cadillacs, and I was rich. And I was 21, something like that. So I would just do about maybe one little something a day, so I wouldn't, maybe twice a day, no more than that. You know, just to keep, so you wouldn't be spending up the money you saved. I'd be making, you know, a little bit. So it comes a time when it hits you, it's time to jump back in. When that time hit, hey man, it hit like, it's like a period like now. When you get all the connections you want and everything is, you know, hey, the brother is back. Well, anyway, so I got a place back out where, you know, my area, that whole area would be considered mine. So, remember, I've been in jail most of my life, teenage life, preteen, and then after, you know. So I was around men, and I got married, and so my son had come here, you know, he said, that's not dangerous, but I said, that's right, that's right. Don't worry, I'm going to do this on the other, you know. So it's just normal. If you can't do it where you are, you're going to do it somewhere else, and you're going to be out there, and you're going to be managing. Now, this is when you're getting rolling, and when you open up, you knocking the whole. This is when we became that big time stuff. Anyway, she was sad, and you're never here. Now, remember, I've been around men all my life, and I didn't know that people would say stuff. I say, you can't be at 2 places. If I'm over there, I can't be here. It's not hard, but I didn't know. I had no idea, because I grew up around men, you know, in penitentiaries. And I wouldn't be out long enough, like I was out 16 till I was 17, something like that. Had a little time to low ride in cars and all that. But I would go back. So I was around men all my life. So men can't say stuff like that. A man knows you can't be in 2 places at one time. And then the other thing is, if you tell a brother, man, I'm gonna hustle, then man, I sure would like to get. So don't you worry. If I get me a new Benz, I'm gonna get you one too. And you bring your partner a brand new Benz, he would never ask a dumb question like, do you like me, or are you really my friend? But a girl, you done bought a house, all that stuff. Do you really love me? Well, hold it. Wait, hold it. I can't, you know, I couldn't, it was not, I wasn't used to that. And actually, I was petty violent for a minute. I was, because wait a minute. Because I was thinking you're playing around with you playing. You just doing that. You can't. It's not real. It's not. How could I be here and there at the same time? If I'm not going to do it there, then I got to do it here. I got to do it. So it don't make no. How could I not? And then you said if I get you an airplane and a red carpet, you'll be happy. There's an airplane. There's a red carpet. I mean, I'm just, you know. And you come home and people is crying. What are you crying? There's a color TV. There's all the people on there. There's wall-to-wall carpet here. There's a big, pretty car out there that technically is yours, and there's everything. And you said, you know, if I do this, then you're going to be happy. And I thought it was real. So a few years ago when we used to live right back there. We used to live over on 8th Street. We used to live downstairs right there. And so I was told we had a place of our own. So I said, well, okay, the next one, we won't get it for nobody else. We'll keep it ourselves. So cathedral ceiling, just pretty nice. So now you ain't got nothing to say after that. No. And then people are sad. But I was already ready for that one. It wasn't no surprise. But anyway, let me go on. Strategic Command Center is right next door. What is this Strategic Command Center about? First, I'm going to do overseas, and then I'll do here. Because first, remember, we got to think about which direction is history going in. When we think about us and our place in history, right? When we think about the system, which way is it going? Is it going where we're on the ascendancy, and are they on the decline? You have to add it up. If whatever comes out, right? If we're pushing every button that says decline and the system is headed down, everything they've done in the last week is down. The Russians are going to invade Ukraine, and the Ukraine president said that's not true. And then they say, well, such and such. They said that ain't true. And then they got the real dumb man. I mean, he's a buffoon. In fact, the old man from Britain. The Prince Philip just died, and they having parties. I mean, it's like partying when the Queen and died. Suppose in Britain, the Queen and died, and here's a person, they gonna have a party. Right? Prince Philip, he was 99. Another week, he'd have been 100 years old. Right? He been married to that woman since I was a child. It was 1950s, maybe the 1940s. I think they got married in the 40s because she became queen in 53. I mean, this girl has been in there long as, who was the other queen that was there a long time? She might have been there longer. The queen, what was the queen 150 years ago? She was queen for 62 years. Did anybody ever see the movie about the Queen and Abdul or something? What queen was? Anyway, she was queen a long time. And they just laughing that, the husband, well, Prince Philip, he just died. Now, it seems like that what we would be doing is a big job, but it's not a big job. It's not a big job because wherever we are, we've been closing the gap. Remember, the boss man we're fighting today or dealing with today is not the same one 10 years ago, 20 years ago, nor 30 years ago. The stuff we used to talk about 30 years ago, the people, when I first got here, would go in one ear and out the other. It still does, but it don't go as fast. You know why? Because boss man is not the same one. He's lost every war. He lost in Vietnam. He lost in Korea. Right? And when he tell it, it was a stalemate in Korea. When the Chinese, the biggest movie today is about Chosin, Changeling, they call it what, the reservoir? From the Chinese side, they said that's propaganda. Anyway, they're telling it from their side.